What's up, guys? It's Christopher DAV1D on ECF, Aerovapor on YouTube. Today I have a video review from gotvapes.com that I have been excited to do. I couldn't wait to get the product and try it. And it finally came, and I tried it. So here we go. By the way, this is my original stone tank going strong. No dry hits, just awesome. I'm loving this. Hated it at first, loved it, but that's going to be a different video. So today I have the gripper variable volt system. It's the Ovale V6 VV system on the box. On gotvapes.com, it's the gripper variable volt system. It retails for $65 and change, and let me show you what you get. First of all, when you open it, you're going to have an instruction manual in there. Your unit with one carto in it. And then you're going to have two 18350 batteries. If you take those out, underneath you'll have one more of the cartomizers, the Vision clearomizers, and then a charger, which I happen to have right here. Now, I have some weird stuff going on with this mod, and I've seen people who have had similar issues to me, and people who have had none of the issue that I have. But it's not like, oh, I can't get this working. It's like a legit defect in the product. So the charger, I love the charger. I like this kind of charger. Plugs into the wall. Charge both of them at the same time. The problem is there's this little like gap between where the batteries go. So when you put the batteries in to charge it, while they will charge, you have to be careful because when you push one in, the other one's going to slightly pop out. So when you go to charge it, just make sure that they're both in there equally well, and so that they can both take a charge and they don't sit there for 4 hours and you come back and only one battery is charged. So it's not a big deal. It definitely wouldn't be a make or break for me on this unit, but just something to consider. Now, before I even vape on it, I am going to tell you the absolute biggest down of this unit, hands down. And no, it's not that it doesn't have a flat bottom. I really don't care. I care about performance. When you take the batteries, it opens up, back comes off, batteries go in. You notice that? It's not doing anything. Now, if I were to take, say, a piece of tin foil and pull one of the batteries back and put it in the positive connection, all of a sudden it works. The reason for that is the connections for the positive inside of the mod are kind of recessed, and there's like two little pieces of plastic on each side of the positive end. So what's happening is this nipple is too fat. Say what you want. Instead of like one of the smaller nipples on a battery that would easily touch that, the nipple's too fat, so it's just hitting both sides of that plastic and never making the connection with the positive end. So the only way that I've been able to get this to fire is if I put the batteries in, and then on the positive connection I pull the battery back a little bit, and then I put the piece of foil in there so it makes the connection. And the way I have the foil in there now, the back's not going to close. There we go. So now it works. For me, that's a huge downer. Just the fact that you have to like modify how you put the batteries in there to even get it to fire. Now, some people haven't had this issue. P. Basardo did a video, and he didn't talk anything about that. I talked to somebody else on the forum. They had the exact same issue where it was recessed and the battery just would not work on the device without him putting something metal inside of it to make the connection. So that's just a huge downer for me. It's also kind of weird. The setting that it starts at, there's 3.7, 5 volts, and 6 volts. The setting that it starts at is red, but red is actually 3.7. When I first got it fired up and got it working, I'm like, holy cow, it actually starts on the high setting, but it doesn't. Red is 3.7, orange is 5 volts, and then blue is the 6 volts. So let me take a hit on this 4 ohm Vision Clearomizer that it comes with at 3.7 volts. Puts out a ton of vapor. The power in this thing really seems to be great. I love the vape that it puts out. With this Vision Carto, the vape is excellent. At first I wasn't getting a whole lot of throat hit from it, but after I broke it in and 3-4 tanks later, like it all came alive and had just a great throat hit, great flavor, and just easy overall great vape. So let me step it up. I'll hit it 5 times. Goes to the orange setting. So now it's going to be at 5 volts on the 4 ohm Carto. Wow, why am I like holding this so weird? So that's at 5 volts. And the reason I'm holding it so weird is if you screw the Carto all the way down and the mouthpiece, because this is actually a screw-on mouthpiece for this Vision, which is awesome. But if you screw the mouthpiece on all the way and the unit all the way, it's like it doesn't line up flat. It lines up sideways. So that's why, so you could just kind of give it a half a turn back. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me go to 6 volts. Great vapor production, just great power. Like you could feel the power in the device. This is a 4 ohm Carto, and at 3.7 volts, it's still giving you an awesome vape. Like you can just vape 3.7 volts. Now the other side to the fact that this Carto works so great is the fact that it's a juice whore. Like it sucks up juice like you would not believe. It uses up a lot of juice. But to me, that's okay because that means it's working properly. So that's good for me. So the fit and finish of it, some of the things that drive me crazy, and I think I'm going to put a photo up here for you to show close up. If you look up close, like you see right there, that's glue residue right there from when they were putting the mod together. So obviously they're using glue along the edges because you can see the residue along the side of where the glue is. The other thing which you're not going to be able to see that I'll show you in a picture is when I got it, there was this huge string of like hot glue going out of one of the seams in the next to the connector. There's also a lot of seams in this, especially around the connector. That is not a juice well. I mean, you could drip in it. Just don't flood the crap out of it. Which is going to bring me to my next point and my next big downside. And that is something that I'm probably not going to be able... Oh, there we go. Now let me tell you, I've tried everything on here. I tried a Vision Stone Carto with a connector, Vision Stone tank with a connector extender on it, a Boge 2 ohm, Smoke Tech 2 ohm. I have tried everything. And let me show you how it works. Put a 2 ohm Boge. Hold on, first let me see what setting it's on. It's on 6 volts. So another 5 clicks would turn it off after 6 volts. 5 more clicks, and now you're back to 3.7. So put a Boge 2 ohm carto on there and fire it. You see that? Nothing. Nada. Zilch. So then after you do that, you have to pop one of the batteries out and reset the device. The point is, I have nothing that will work on here except for a high ohm atomizer that I used and the cartomizers that come. If you want to use low resistance on 3.7, at least on the one I have, you can't. I know I saw another video out there that the guy was using 2 ohm Boge tank in here and it was working fine. All I can tell you is what I have, and I know I've seen at least one other person on the forum who is also having that same issue. So it's definitely it's definitely something that went wrong during manufacturing with these. The thing that really pisses me off is that it works excellent. When you have this carto on here, it vapes like a champ. It's just a great vape. It's a very light, very small device. I mean, I can completely conceal it in the palm of my hand. It's a tiny device. For me, I'm right-handed, so I usually put my 3 fingers in the grooves and then fire it with my thumb. But even if you're left-handed, what I would do is hold it this way and fire it with the inside of your finger. The button is super clicky, seems to fire every time. I've never had a misfire or hit the button and it didn't fire. I have laid it down and had it fire, so it doesn't take a lot to press the button, but the button is nice and clicky and works well. So overall, I gotta be honest, I'm really disappointed with this mod. I love the way that it performs. I love the power it has. Like, you can feel the power output is way different at 3.7 volts than it is on, say, an Ego or an E-Power or other, e-cig devices. It has power. It's 3.7 volts, it's 5 volts, it's 6 volts. It is 5 volts. It is 6 volts. It's not around there. Like, it is a true 5 volts and 6 volts, and it is vaping like hard. But the fact that I can't use any other cartomizer that is lower ohmed in it, and the fact that I'm having this craziness where I have to add metal to the battery connector because the positive end doesn't touch the battery, those are just like huge flaws that I just couldn't get past. The price for it for the kit is $65. It comes with, like I said, the 2 cartos, the mod, 2 batteries, and the charger. The device, like I said, on this carto works excellent. But if you're paying $65 for a mod and it's not working with the other cartos, that's a problem. Like, I want it to be able to work with more than just these. Even though these cartos are freaking excellent. They are vaping excellent. It's probably the best Vision that I've tried to date. I love it. Take it or leave it. That's my opinion. If it's a flaw with just this one, I don't know. Let me know what you think if you have one. But all I could tell you is what is performing from the device that I have. And those issues are happening in the device I have. So it is what it is. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Hit me up, comment questions, concerns, and keep on vaping.